Can you hear me now? Is it working any better just yet? Hello, everybody. Hello? Is there a Phreak here? It's back, they say. Oh,
outstanding.
It happened to randomly start working. It's working. All right, we are back. Hello, everyone.
And they are on the move.
Okay, well, let me...
I don't know if folks heard. I was making a comment about Ash. Ash has a particular axe to grind against the Noxian champions and the Noxian element, mainly because with the foundation of Freljord, that actually stopped the Noxian advance into her homeland. And with her now basically being the queen of Freljord, I think she has a lot to prove in this particular match.
Yes, and congratulations, of course, to both Ash and Tryndamere.
Yes, the new king and queen of Freljord.
Yes, absolutely. So right now we're seeing the summoners basically take their, as we call them casually, lanes on this map. Different teams actually choosing different strategies. We see that the Ionian team is actually splitting up quite a lot. They're actually looking these lines of sight. If we turn off some of the sight modifiers here, we see that the Noxian team doesn't actually see much of the map. They're actually all grouped up together. Scion will be taking over this ancient golem camp, which spawns in about 30 seconds.
I wonder what their strategy is in doing something like that.
So they're playing much more of a passive game. Edwy is their, as we call him, jungler, who will be running through the forest, the jungle, killing various monsters. And they're simply holding the rest of their team to protect a very common avenue of entrance. If they came from up here through this area, Scion would see him and would be able to run away. And if they came through the other common entrance, the entire team was there watching that, and they could escape as well.
Interesting.
On the other side, though, we see that the Ionian team, they have scouts set up across the map. Kennen's over here. They had Udyr coming towards the back. They had Ash camping in this brush. So they could see all the common inlets of the jungle at all, but weren't actually ready to prepared to defend themselves if something actually happened. They could just see it and retreat. So a little bit of a different playstyle right off at the bat. Grouping up versus vision, basically. So the top of the lane are two of the main mages for each team. Vladimir, the Noxian mage, is as some would call him, a blood mage, is
a hemomancer.
A hemomancer.
Yes.
My apologies.
That's all right.
I'm not one who knows many definitions. I just call it as I see it. But certainly he's good at healing himself. He does a lot of damage. Actually, uses his own health as fuel for his abilities. So the bans for each team, there's one ban given to each team, and the bans were Rammus, which was banned out from under the Noxian team, and Shen was banned away from the Ionians. And so both teams actually banned out tanks who could also jungle, which was seemed to be a very hot topic between them. When you're given very few champions, there's only so many champions that do multiple things at once. Oftentimes you just have just a tank or just a jungler, and those were champions that served multiple roles very, very well, and they're very common to ban in a sort of limited champion environment, as when you only pick champions from your side or your own mercenaries. These multi-purpose champions are you're very wise to get rid of them to limit your opponent's choices more. So, for example, the Noxian team running jungle Scion is very, very rare. We don't see that very often. Certainly powerful. We can see Edwy is doing a very good job with his Scion, but is not something that we would normally see when summoners are given a free-for-all over any champion to play.
Do you think that sort of unique strategy would prove to be maybe the hinge point that turns things into Noxus' favor?
I think it's valuable. Having a jungler at all is certainly very wise, but Ionia has a great bit of power in that Udyr is actually a common sort of jungler choice as well. And so they don't really feel hindered by this. This is very standard to see how summoners play this way, and so I think they feel a little bit powerful that way. They're like, yes, we get jungle Udyr. He's sort of used to this. Our summoners are used to playing Udyr in this manner, whereas Scion is normally a laning champion, and so experience actually is a little bit in Ionia's favor right now. So we're just seeing the sort of lane assignments at the bottom lane. We have Morgana and Singed playing together at the bottom. Against Amumu and Soraka. This is kind of interesting that we have like support plus tank versus support plus tank. The sort of traditional roles for these champions are actually to basically help the other half of the team do their jobs better. As Friend would do with Sin, she would generally initiate a team fight and position someone out of the way with Fling, and that would allow someone like Misfortune or Vladimir to have an easier time fighting. It really wouldn't be Singed that would be winning the game for his team, but would enable other champions to do so. These sort of roles are different between these champions. It's very interesting to see how well they'll do that action.
Noxus seems to be applying a lot of pressure early on to Ionia in that bottom lane as well. I wonder if that momentum will continue.
Oh, we almost had a small gank from Jungle Cyan, who actually ran towards the bottom of the map and found that there was nothing really available for him to fight, so he simply wards Dragon and continues on towards the middle of the map, and this could be very dangerous. Oh, Ash does not have boots. Edwy has charged up his shield. Here he comes. There's the Ghost, and here comes the Cryptic Gaze, and no, Ash will dodge that with Flash. Very good job by his summoner. Popping that flash spell, but still Edwy running up with his shield, going to break that in the face of Frost, doing a little bit of damage there. Frost taking some damage. Some nice play there from both players. A little bit of damage there. Good dodge on the other side. We can hear the rabble of the street downstairs.
Indeed.
I don't know if you can hear them.
The taverns are filled as League Physiopathic Services are providing live coverage of this monumental event.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, a lot of interesting things are going to happen here. Now, we actually had a question from the audience. They had asked who won the last time these two city-states fought in an official battle.
It was actually a rather short event, as Noxus crushed Ionia handily. In fact, the event took so short of amount of time. There was some talk of there being some sort of deal making through the political halls. Let me
interrupt you real quick. As Morgana lands the Dark Binding onto Udyr. Udyr's getting taken down, and where Ken's trying to get there to fling. Garzamab is still putting damage off onto Cyan. Cyan is now being forced to retreat, but there's the Turtle Shell, and Garzamab will be getting away. And New Illusions with a Mumu running with the rest of his team. There's another Dark Binding. It will not hit anything though, and there's the flash from Soraka. Yeah, 4 on 3,
wow.
and
no one died. No one died. Impressive.
The Ionian champion's barely getting away.
Seems like Ionia has learned the lessons from their previous attempt here, and they're not taking Noxus for granted at all.
Absolutely. So, sorry, continue about the last match. It was
certainly,
very short.
certainly. So it was very short, and Noxus handily crushed Ionia. Of particular note, Soraka has a lot to prove in this particular match, where a number of people well versed in the tactics of the battle arenas felt Soraka had really underperformed in that last match.
And also interesting is that Dr. Mundo was actually one of the MVPs for the Noxian team in the last match, but he is absent from this one, and I think that has something to do with the machinations on the Ionian side. I think they probably may have traded off some of their own options to ensure that he would not be able to make it into this match.
There are many things afoot here. No doubt that the Journal of Justice will get to the bottom of each of these.
All right, so yeah, and the interesting thing enough is the summoner known as Roku, who, if we can find him somewhere around here, he is... I actually don't see him anywhere. Is he not... Oh, he's not playing in this game. Or... Wow, I'm clearly just saying things completely wrong. I apologize. Never mind. I remember... Oh, there we go. There we go. Roku. There he is. I was looking at the wrong team entirely. I completely forgot the summoner's allegiances. I was like, I don't see him. Yes, Roku is playing Misfortune, and he's actually a summoner known for playing Dr. Mundo. He actually came up to me a few days earlier and expressed his interest in summoning Dr. Mundo for this match. Oh, Guardsman Bob coming in from the behind, getting slowed down, but this is going to be very dangerous. Udyr is doing a ton of damage. There's the Enchanted Crystal. Frost will get that kill. First blood. Frost has taken down Misfortune. Roku in a very bad way. Very good job by...
That has to be a rude awakening for Noxus, that Ionia is bluntly not playing around in this match. Ionia has so much at stake, so much at stake.
And Eclipse indeed yelling out for Ionia in all caps. He is certainly very enthusiastic about this game.
The high command is sweating bullets in Noxus right now over this particular match, and that cannot be a good start for the evening for that.
Yeah, so very, very good opening. This is actually what I talked about briefly earlier, where, again, Udyr is more of a conventional jungling choice for the Ionian side, and we saw when Cyan tried to gank, you can see it was very, very easy for Frost to escape that, for Ash to escape that with the summoner casting Flash. When Udyr showed up, Flash was not enough to stop that, as he just simply walked up and stunned him with Bear Stance again.
Flash has been a dominant... We've seen 2 instances in this match already where Flash has saved the day. In this particular case, it actually didn't save it. But Flash... which champions are currently using Flash? Do you happen to know?
So we can actually pull this up right here, and actually there's only very few uses of it. So
interesting.
The Noxian team only has Roku and Poison Iden, which is Misfortune and Vladimir, the 2 sort of carry type champions who are very adept at dealing lots and lots of damage at once. and they're really the ones who need to survive to make this work well for them. So that's actually a very common choice. If you need to survive, you pick more defensive summoner spell options so that you as a summoner can save your champion from danger. However, the other team we see on the Ionian side, they're actually a little bit more apt to run that spell. We have, of course, again, the mage and physical carry as Cannon and Ashe are both running that spell, but also the Soraka is running Flash as well, who is really the main support champion for Ionia. But the really cool thing about that is she's also running Clairvoyance, so that the Ionian side can always look and find where their opponents are. Clairvoyance, a great summoner spell which allows you to reveal an area on the map.
Interesting.
Because normally you look at this and you see that the Noxus does not have a lot of vision. They actually don't see any of the champions on the map right now.
Wow.
They have almost no idea what's going on, and a simple Clairvoyance, as Soraka has, would reveal those areas quite nicely. And we already see that lack of vision has allowed Udyr to walk up and almost quite handedly flank and almost gank that Vladimir, but Vladimir using Sanguine Pool to escape that gank, and Guardsman Bob choosing not to push his champion into that fight. Will survive for now. But he does have control of that lane. As we can see, these purple minions as they are spawning are simply not yielding any benefit to the Noxian team. They're not giving any experience in gold out, as no one is there to reap those rewards.
All the exchanges so far have not hurt the Ionians one bit. In fact, Ionia seems to have the momentum in this early match.
Yeah, absolutely. And we even see that Ionia, and I talked about Clairvoyance earlier, is actually doing a very good job of controlling the map in general. We can see that as far as wards are concerned, the Noxian team has dropped one single ward down in this brush, which can just barely spy into Dragon, but has no idea about any of the rest of these gank paths. So they have almost no vision of the entire map. Now, if we look at the entire map again, we can see that Ionia has placed wards over on one of the lower gank paths, directly in front of Dragon, inside the jungle, and even across the upper river as well. So the Ionians are very apt to not only gank better, as we saw earlier, but also are doing a very good job at revealing the entire map such that they are never surprised. And it seems that this is going to be a common advantage that will continue to push through the rest of this match, as the Ionians are going to be much better prepared for everything the Noxians throw at them, whereas the Noxians are going to be a little bit more surprised, we saw last time, where there would be no reason for Misfortune to stand up there with Udyr directly behind her. And if she knew that, she would have already retreated. And that really resulted in that first kill.
Mm-hmm.
But a few things of note, though, is Udyr is coming back towards the top of the map, and now Vladimir does see that he has a ward right there. We can see Vladimir already knows he's coming in, and there is the gank, and there's the Sanguine Pool. Let's see if he will chase. He will not. Vladimir will continue to run down past his turret, and he will be safe. But as I was saying, one of the interesting things going on is that the teams are allocating their resources a little bit differently. Now, there are two major monsters that spawn on each side of the map: the Golem, the Ancient Golem, and the Ancient Lizard. Or the Elder Lizard, I should say. And when they are killed, they confer a very large buff to the champion that slays it. A little bit of a fight at the bottom. Looks like both teams will be safe, though. Singe is very, very durable. It's very unlikely to see Singe die in a small fight.
True, very true.
So generally, Singe will be safe unless he makes a major mistake, which he may indeed, or get ganked or something. But Singe will generally be safe, as will Morgana. Both are very strong defensive options. Neither champion should die very easily. But what I was saying is Misfortune has been given the blessing of the Lizard Elder, which allows all of his basic attacks to slow enemies and actually deal bonus damage when they hit. And so right now, anyone who tries to fight Misfortune 1 versus 1 will generally lose very, very handedly.
Just taking a look at the word on the wind here, in fact, there will be only one match. This is not a best of 3.
This is the best of one, and we can see that again, this is map awareness. They barely have vision of this camp down here, and there we go. There's the large team fight as the Lumi has pass built, but Roku will flash over the wall. Has already dropped his as well. Frost picking up that kill on Edwy, and here we go. This is Singe going to drop down. Singe is about to die. Will they kill Singe? And they're trying so hard, but he's still running around, not dying. And there's the Hemo Plague from Vladimir, trying to drop down as many Noxians as many Ionians as he can. Will he be able to kill Soraka? No, he's going to get silenced, and he will get dropped down. That mage unable to do anything while silenced. Soraka with a very clutch play has him in improve against Noxus, and does so, silencing Vladimir, one of the newest Noxian additions to the league, getting away with no health, and that was a triple kill for the Ionian-born Udyr.
Guardsman Bob scored a triple kill there. Ionia crushed in that exchange. Absolutely crushed. Noxus cannot be happy about this outcome.
That was hard. This is now 5 kills to 0. Every single one of the Noxian champions has died, and none of them have killed anything. I believe the Dragon kill also went to the Ionian team. Now, for those of you unaware with a lot of these neutral buffs on the map, the Dragon, when it dies, confers a large amount of gold and experience, not only to champions nearby. If you partake in killing the Dragon, you get some experience, but anyone on the map on that team will gain just globally golden experience as well, which will set your entire team up a very significant amount. You get about, if you add the benefits together, it's about worth killing 2 champions. So if you count this purely in champion kills, it's as though it were 7 to